There seems to be a real pressure nowadays for artists to be completely original in their work. There's a narrative that everything you make should come straight from your head and be totally free of outside influence. Unfortunately, creativity doesn't work that way. Good artists know that nothing comes from nowhere, and good ideas don't just pop out of thin air. So where do the great artists get their ideas from? The answer is, they steal them. Lesson 1. Don't worry about being original. Cleon says that as artists, we must be tasteful thieves, taking the good ideas and things we love and making them into something of our own. To do this, Cleon suggests that we create a morgue file, or a collection of all the dead ideas we find throughout our day which we can later reanimate into something new. You could fill your morgue file with just about anything. An interesting quote you saw on Instagram, a cool video you saw on YouTube, or even a conversation you overheard in public. You don't have to use these ideas right away. Save them for later. You never know when you might find them useful. Inspiration is everywhere, so use it. Don't worry about being original, and just get started. Lesson 2. Just get started. A lot of us will back on making the things we want to make. We tell ourselves that we'll start making stuff once we're a little bit more figured out in life, once we're more experienced, or once we feel that we're ready. The fact is, we'll never feel figured out in life, never feel good enough, and never feel ready enough to get started. Cleon says that from his experience, it's in the act of creation that we figure out who we are and feel confident in our abilities. Until we get to that point, Cleon suggests that we fake it till we make it. He presents two definitions of this. 1. Pretend being something you're not until you are. Or 2. Pretend to be making something until you actually do make something. This isn't about being a fraud or faking anyone out. It's just about convincing ourselves to do the work we want to be doing. Lesson 3. Write the book you want to read. You've probably heard the saying, whether in school or pretty much any creative writing workshop, to quote, write what you know. The problem with this is that most of our lives are ordinary and boring. So in turn, by writing what we know, our stories become ordinary and boring. That's where Cleon's advice comes in. Cleon suggests that we should write what we like, instead of just writing what we know. If you like science fiction, write a science fiction book. If you like dinosaurs, write a book about dinosaurs. If you like the Beatles, think about what music they'd make today, and go make that. The best thing is, you don't have to be an expert to make something. The manifesto is this. Draw the art you want to see. Start the business you want to run. Play the music you want to hear. Write the books you want to read. Build the products you want to use. Do the work you want to see done. Austin Kleon. Lesson 1. Take it day by day. The day is the only unit of time I can really wrap my head around. Seasons change, and weeks are completely human-made. But the day is a rhythm. The sun goes up, the sun goes down. I can handle that. Austin Kleon. A lot of us think that to do something hard, like write a book for example, we just have to sit down one day and churn out 200 perfectly written pages. However, that's completely unrealistic. Obviously, the only way to write a book is to sit down every day and write something. People underestimate the power of the day. But if you were to sit down every day for a year and write a single page, by the end you'd have 365 pages. More than enough to fill a novel. Take things day by day, because that's the only unit of time we can truly keep track of. Lesson 2. Story is everything. In Chapter 5, Cleon makes us imagine that we're a wealthy collector at a gallery in an art museum. In front of you are two seemingly identical pieces, both of a harbor at sunset. You look back and forth at them, trying to spot a single difference, but as far as you can see, each stroke of paint perfectly matches one another. There's no label to be found on either, so you nickname the pieces Painting A and Painting B. You're about to go ask someone about the paintings, just as the head curator walks into the gallery. Eagerly, you ask him about the origins of the pieces. He tells you that Painting A was created in the 17th century by a Dutch master. And what about Painting B, you ask? The curator searches his memory, then recalls that Painting B was a forgery, created by a graduate at the local art college. Which one looks better now, Painting A or Painting B? Which one do you want to bring home with you? It would be great if art spoke for itself, but the truth is, it doesn't. We as artists need to speak for it. Humans are natural storytellers. We place a high value on things that have an interesting background. So tell a story with your art. Tell stories that people care about. And in turn, they might just care about your stories. Lesson 3. Keep being interested. Cleon warns his audience about becoming human spam. People that are human spam are only interested in themselves and their own work. They want people to read their books without reading others' books. They want people to attend their shows without attending other shows. And they want people to support their work without first supporting the work of others. Cleon suggests that no matter how successful we get, we don't just look for fans of our work. We look for people to collaborate with. To have fans, you have to be a fan first. So hang out online. Answer the questions that people ask, and ask them questions of your own. Talk to people about the things they love. Caring about other people's work is the easiest way to get them to care about your work. As the novelist Richard Ford said, when people realize they're being listened to, they tell you things. A lot of us want to be called a certain thing without doing the work associated with that. We want to be called a writer without writing. We want to be called a filmmaker without making films. And we want to be called a musician without recording music. Cleon suggests that we focus on the verb, the work we're doing, instead of the noun, what people call us. The problem with picking the noun is it feels limiting to the work we could be doing. What if you're known as a musician and want to try painting? What if you're known as a painter and want to try music? There's absolutely no reason we should be held back by our titles. As the architect R. Buckminster Fuller said, "I don't know what I am. I know that I am not a category. I am not a thing, a noun. I seem to be a verb, an evolutionary process." Lesson 2. Make gifts for people. In Chapter 4, Cleon talks about the struggle between making what you want and making what you think will be popular. And honestly, I think this is an issue a lot of artists are facing right now, especially with social media. Something that you put hours into and really enjoy making could be put out with little audience reception, whereas something you put out as an afterthought could go stupid viral and be loved by millions. Cleon's solution to this is to make gifts for people. From early on, identify the handful of people whose opinions you actually care about. This may be a family member, a close friend, a mentor. These are the people that genuinely care about you and want the best for you and your work. Make gifts for these people. Make things for the people you care about, and as long as they enjoy it, that's all that really matters. Don't make stuff because you want to make money. It will never make you enough money. And don't make stuff because you want to get famous. You will never feel famous enough. Make gifts for people, and work hard on making those gifts in the hope that those people will notice and like the gifts. John Green. Lesson 3. Your art is a lifelong pursuit. In the world today, there's a weird obsession with the early bloomers. We've all heard stories about the person under 30 who starts a successful company and makes millions. We may kick ourselves, wondering why this person, who's the same age or younger than us, is seemingly wealthier, more successful, and happier than we can ever dream of being. However, Cleon says he doesn't care about the 35 under 35 list. He's more concerned with the 8 over 80 list. He doesn't care how someone got rich and famous in their 30s. He wants to know how someone in their 80s continued making art and lived a good life. We have to remember that our art is a lifelong pursuit. We shouldn't make art for money or fame or anything. We should make it because we love it. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching. The books I mentioned are part of the Steal Like an Artist trilogy by Austin Kleon. I left a link to his website in the description of this video if any of you are interested. I would definitely recommend. Anyways, that's all from me for today. I will see you guys in the next video coming very, very soon.